Alright, this is part 2 of tablet 2 where we left off at. It said the sun is the light, the 93rd attribute in the number 93 million miles in distance. And this is no coincidence. The sun is the bright morning star, which the planet Venus is also known as. Venus is often referred to as a star on account of its dense atmosphere of carbon dioxide, which reflects solar radiation and causes very bright visual effects. The circumference of the planet Earth, which is the circle around it, 24,896 miles. That varies because, as you know, your planet expands and attracts seasonally. There is a universal equinox and an earthly equinox. An equinox simply being when the length of days and shadow hours are equal, coming from Latin aquinoctium. Aqui, eque, nox, noct, N-O-C-T, night. The planet Earth goes around the sun, called solar, from the Latin word sol, meaning sun, and Ar from the Hittite deity Ar-Nina, goddess of the sun, which is the center of this solar system, and 365 Earth days. This varies because the hour and a day are not really 24, but rather 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 6 seconds. You would calculate that as one day, when in reality it varies. The moon moves around the planet 354 Earth days. Again, the moon cycle varies, and you call that one lunar year. So now you have this motion of the moon around the planet and your planet around the sun. You have this whole galaxy or solar system, central solar, with systematic bodies moving around it. It moves around a larger mass every 24,000 years. Of course, that varies in an equinox, and you have the precession of the equator needle. It spins one complete circle every 26,000 years on its axis. Precession is the motion of the axis of a spinning body, such as the wobble of a spinning top. When there is an external force acting on the axis, it's a slow gyration of Earth's axis around the pole of the ecliptic, caused mainly by the gravitational pull of the sun, moon, and other planets on Earth. Equatorial bulge. From the late Latin procession from Latin praecessus, pass, particle of praecedere, means to go before. Your equinox varies from 24,000 to 24,896 years. Okay, so it's basically showing us how these cycles work. And also these numbers, you got 24 hours, you got 24 hours in a day, and these numbers all linked together. The planet called Earth positioned itself in the location of the revolution of Earth in the year 1970 AD, which was the end of the third cycle as you know it. So that means we in that final cycle. The end of the moon cycle of water and the birth of the sun cycle of ether, which was also the beginning of this writing, which was sent to renew your Earth story. Make note that there is no such word as their story, only history, which is his, like HISSTORY, like his story. his story, not history, his story, which he says of us. A mystery, meaning my story. Mystery meaning my story, which we say of us when the Euro Americans, meaning the Europeans that were in America, is making reference to the story of the original woolly-haired beings, Moors. Moors means black. They refer to it as history, meaning his story. His story. Not history, his story. Basically talking about another people's story. Because they really don't have a beginning in the origin of things. But be not arrogant of our knowledge. Take counsel with the ignorant as well as with the wise. For the limits of knowledge in any field has never been set, and no one has ever reached them. Wisdom is rarer than emeralds, and yet they are found amongst the women who gather as the grindstones. Be diligent as long as you live, always doing more than is commanded of you. Do not misuse your time while following your heart, for it is offensive to the soul to waste one's time. As you can see, the wise Kwayans, the Anunnaki, have made land to equal 1 mile per year, and the circumference of the planet Earth is 24,896 miles. It takes 24,896 years for the cycle to take place. The wise round the figure off into 4 cycles of 6,000 years, which you call one equinox in age. That's why when the Bible, it always talks about the end of an age. When the planet resets and all these things take place, it's just the end of an age and the ushering of a new cycle. The other years are in constant speed and movement of the planet, making it right and exact. They, the elders meaning the 24, have made land 1 mile to equal each year, of which time to renew our history, or our story, O-U-R story, S-T-O-R-Y. What happens is we have 4 cycles of 6,000 years. And this cycle called an equinox, 24,000, thus you will see the single cycle is gone. And now we're into the quad cycle. Overstand that. Then we have an epoch of 50,000 years. By that I mean the quad cycle, which is this, assuming your sun and your planet is moving. It doesn't move perfectly around. It moves in an egg-shaped motion and oval. It is broken up into points 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 2 points where the planet is far away from the sun called the solstice, which mark the 2 times when the sun is seen during the day, the longest and the shortest times of the year, while so relating to the sun. That's where you get your December 25th from, that solstice, when days get shorter or longer. Thus you have 4 seasons: 1 winter, 2 spring, 3 summer, 4 fall, called the season. See suns, spelled S-E-A-S-O-N-S. Sea and suns. The child of the sea who lived here before Adam's creation. They lived beneath the sea called the deep. Watch the Elohim create and make that which was good, all determined by the water. Thus you have sea suns, sons of the sea. humans are also a sea people living in an atmosphere of air. That's where you get your mermaids from, which is water. First from the water of semen. See, spelled semen. You have semen, then you have the semen as Seamen, to the sac of the womb, to the atmosphere of air, which is water, and the human body, which is 3/4 water, the four sons of water. Now that is just the planet and its motion around the sun. But note, when we take your solar system and cause it to revolve around a larger mass, the universe, there are also four periods. The furthest period from the sun are called silver periods, or the silver ages. You know how they got the golden ages? These are the silver ages. That is the moon cycle. You have two silver or moon cycles because the magnetic pull that the sun has, the Earth's ecliptic motion speeds up and slows down in the ecliptic or the great annual path of the sun and seen from the Earth. Your planet is not going around and around at the same speed as you may think. You will see the Earth one of these periods because of the number 24 has been divided into four 6,000 year cycles. So it's starting to make sense now. The first 6,000 year period was from the first silver moon cycle, which was the first cycle that the Earth was furthest away from the sun, to the first gold sun cycle, which was the first cycle that the Earth was closest to the sun. The second 6,000 year period was from the first gold sun to the second silver moon. The third 6,000 year period is from the second silver moon to the second gold sun. The fourth and final 6,000 year period is going to be from the second gold sun back to the beginning, the very first silver moon, from light back to the pure supreme balancement of blackness. In the fourth cycle, the Luciferian race made war upon the Anunnaki in the pure green light. Remember, I told you that green light is the heart chakra. That's the energy. That's where the blood pumps from. That's where the ether, the plasma in your DNA. The Anunnaki Elohim triumphed over the race of Jinn, meaning the disagreeable ones, and Anu, which is the Most High, has done over his brother Ala Lu, who descended to the seventh, the blue planet inward, then called Tiamat. The blue planet because our planet is made up a majority of water, which Earth is called Tiamat and planet Kai. Remember, it's four creations that happen on Earth. We went through in the other video. And after his defeat, Anu ascended unto the throne of Nibiru, which is also known as Planet 9. Marduk captured one of the jinn who was under the age of maturity, named Balus. Iblis, meaning despaired or rebellious one. His other name was Lucifer, being the liberated Luciferian. Balus was educated amongst the Anunnaki, and he improved by degrees so much that he was honored and made a teacher of the Anunnaki. Remember when I was in the Secret Book of Wisdom, if y'all watched those older videos of, when I was breaking these things down about Lucifer and the evil empire. And I also went into the greater and lesser keys of Solomon, and to tell you the name Lucifer originates from the word lucifuge. You must remember that Lucifer, being one of the most rare Luciferians, was almost all in all polarized, meaning he had two conflicting natures, being part Anunnaki and part reptilian. Lucifer was a product. That's where you get that snake in the garden from. That old serpent of old called the devil. Lucifer was a product of a mixed marriage, being the son of two beings. The reptilian, Tarnish, raped the Anunnaki, Mylitta, which made Lucifer part reptilian and part Anunnaki. This is why he is called the serpent that spoke beside the tree in the enclosed garden of the light, located in what is called Bali today. Thus, there were beings who appeared to have comprising attitude or personality, yet it was Lucifer who appeared to be headstrong and have a disagreeable nature and an uncompromising attitude or personality. However, from his loins came Jabarians called Gibborim, the majestic mighty ones. This is where you get them Nephilim from. The strength of the Luciferians made them able to better deceive the seed of Adam by their physical human-like appearance. He, Balus, aspired to become the guiding light, the ruler, the sultan of all the stars of heaven, the prince of the Garub, cherub in his heart. He sought that very throne of Anu. So basically, he wanted to be like the Most High. Anu reigned over a court of great splendor. It was a place with an artificial garden sculpted with semi-precious stones. There Anu resided with his wife and half-sister, Atu. I told y'all the Most High has a wife. 6 concubines, 80 children, which 14 were Antum, 1 prime minister, 3 commanders in charge of the move. Rocket Sib. It doesn't say rocket ships, but rocket SBI. Hold on, phone acting up. Rocket Sibs, ROCKETSBIPS. 2 commanders of the weapons, 2 great masters of written knowledge, 1 minister of the purse, 2 chief justice, 2 chief scribes, 5 assistant scribes, all of which Balus wanted to rule. Balus was called Samael. That's what they tell you in the Bible. It makes sense. In short, with the vapor of self-complacency and conceit, which is the real nature of Balus. Next, he was to scale the skies, try to control and rule all the stars, Yahwehans, the angelic host of the heaven. Very often, he would incite unnecessary arguments, pretending about his excellence by means of deceitful illusions and diabolical stratagems. Not strategies, stratagems. Once some of the company of the agreeable Anunnaki were going to have a look at the preserved tablets and holiest of holy scriptures, Aponi, which contained the record of the past and the future, called the Manar, illuminated records, or the Akasha records, or their return. Balus perceived marks of grief on their foreheads, asking them for the cause of the grief. They replied that this day we have obtained the information from the tablets that one of the Anunnaki, Garabat, Cherubim, those who are near to the companions of Mike El, meaning who dares to be like El, of the mansions of the eternal, shall soon be afflicted with rejection and everlasting damnation. That's what hell is. Everyone is afraid for his own sake, and we request you to pray that the guardian Anunnaki may allow none of us to fall into this misfortune. We are very much terrified and dismayed. Then Balus answered them, saying, let not this even disturb you, for that judgment refers neither to you nor to me. I have years ago been aware of it and have not communicated it to anyone. The pride and arrogance of Balus did not allow him to weigh in the words of the Anunnaki. At this time, the blessed proclamation reached the hearing of the inhabitants. The echo of the success of the Kadmon Zakar reached their ears. On the hearing the news, their depression was ejaculating from them that permitted their being from the kindled anger of the unhallowed disagreeable doers of Balus. He spoke, saying, how can mortals created of dust claim to be a being of purity, basically superiority, because guess what? The angels are at our command. Angels inspire to be men, and men inspire to be like the angels. Mortals created of dust claim to be beings of superiority, and I am created before him of fire from the precious sun cycle. That's why when you see a lot of these solar channels on YouTube, when they be talking about the CMEs from the sun, the coronal mass ejection, they're catching all of these beings or crafts near the sun, because they're extracting the plasma, because these crafts run off of plasma, just like our bodies run off plasma energy, photon energy. Does it make sense now? And then they tell you when you go into sleep paralysis and you can astral project that you are literally, you can go into spaceship mode and you can travel. Everybody not going to get it, but I have to put this information out there because time is very short. So it has to come out. Somebody's going to do it. Everybody's doing their own work from every angle. This is my work. So the Anunnaki, having guessed the event to come from the sons of Tarnish, said to Elion, will you make a mischief maker in it, one who shall shed blood? This was repeated by the Kuthites on the planet Earth by the command of Anu, which is the Most High, Elion, by Marduk, son of Enqua, and Dakina, and grandson of Anu, who would descend to the fourth plane, advised and warned the race of Na'atas, who had gone astray from the straight path. This took place before the physical war was waged with them. It was a mental war. The agreeable Anunnaki were victorious. This is that Revelation 12, the war in heaven. This, however, would not be the last time that the forces of benevolence, agreeable and disagreeable, malevolent, would do battle. Alright, that's the end of tablet 2. About to get out of here. Kodash, 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 Adonai, Elohim, Sabaoth, meaning holy, 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 Lord of hosts. And I'm also going to say a special prayer. Some people might call it a ritual. Some people might call it many things. So, Sator, Aripo, Apra, Rotus, Aya, Aya, Aya. And then Aya, Aya, Aya. Kether, Chokma, which is wisdom. Benah, which is understanding. Gedula, Jabra, Tiferet, which is beauty. Netzach, Had, Yesod, Malkut, which is the kingdom. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, be ye all present in my aid, and for whatsoever I shall desire to obtain. I gird up my power in girdles of righteousness and truth, and the power of the Most High. Anchor, Amachor, Amides, Theodonos, Anator, let be mighty my power. Let it endure forever, and the power of Adonai, who the praise and the glory shall be, whose end cannot be. Amen. Da Salah. Baruch, bless anybody that hears this message and can perceive this message and understand it for what it truly is worth, because it is the truth and the light, and it has to go out and about. Salah.